I am down in the blacksmith shop and finally got the propane forge getting ready to go, and we are going to turn a bunch of these into your name. Question is, how we're going to do it? Well, part of it involves straightening a lot of those out to form bar stock steel like that, straightening them out as best we can, and then curling them around to make your letters in your name. What we're going to do first, we're going to turn on some of the propane, because I'm not outside in the rain trying to do this in the gas forge, and it looks like we're ready for a little bit of an explosion. So what we're going to do is fire up 40 pounds of propane and start it with some MAP gas. And I'm trying to do this with one hand, so bear with me for a minute. Let's try to turn up some flow, get some gas flowing real quick, and then the part that everybody looks forward to is firing up the forge. And you probably can't see that worth of crap. Anyway, you can see the light starting to flicker down there from the forge fire, and all I'm going to have to do is crank it up. So there you go. It's got to heat up for about 10-15 minutes till it gets nice and hot. And then, hopefully I'll figure out how to set this up so that you can see some of your letters finally coming. Alright, well, I'll be right back. First part. Get it flattened up. Hit the round eye. Flatten up. And then we just go right on around. Right now, that's curling it around. That's going to be the top of your B here in a little bit. Or at least so we hope. And I'll just keep changing the geometry a little bit at a time. Alright, it's getting a little bit cold, so we'll stuff it back there in the forge. Let's tidy up this E while we're at it. I've got to get in there with some long tongs because those guys are a little short and I'll wind up getting burnt. Oh, here's the long ones. Oh, not necessarily blacksmith attire, but it'll work. And when you're if I can ever bring this out, I'll show you exactly how we do it. Alright, so you remember how cold that was? Alright, that is hot, to say the least. I'm just going to sit it in there for a minute so I can grab it with the appropriate tongs, so I don't want to have a problem later on grabbing with the wrong ones and having hot steel flying at me. Now, the one mistake that I probably shouldn't have done is having the whole E hot. So what I should do is probably dip part of it in water, and then that way it preserves the bend that I put in it originally to make the very first part of the E. And that is looking more like the letter E. Now your mother's going to scream at me because the one piece of safety gear that I'm not using right now, and I definitely should be, is safety glasses. Right. And there, Ben, is the letter. There's your E. So now I'm just going to take it over the anvil and hit it with the flat side, get everything lined up, and then I'm just going to throw it and let that cool off. We're done with that. And see how this is doing. So we're back with your B again. And if I hit the top, it'll start to curl. And I want to have that tight. Now, part of the charm is leaving some of the shape from the horseshoe still in the work. All right, and making sure that you still got plenty of material to work with. So I can always go back and change that if I need to. But for now, we'll just see how it goes. The other cool part about a lot of these signs is that even if your letters are a little bit off in size, it kind of looks cool. Alright, Ben, we're back, and there's part of your the other side of your B now that it's gotten the heat a little bit. And let me just go ahead and curl that. Not too hard. Once it starts to form, it goes pretty quick. It's just keeping the momentum going while you're at it and keeping everything straight. But that's waxsmithing. Sometimes the steel's got its own way of doing things. And now it's one of those times. We call that fire dragon's breath. And I built a propane forge from scratch. It's an old propane bottle itself with some piping and some plumbing and some nickel tire with propane gas flowing through. And it's almost hot enough to forge weld with. Almost. Ready to go, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to approach that one just yet. I'm thinking about making a lowercase, and that would probably be easier, so we might just let that kneel. Let that go out for a little bit. Cut down some of the jet noise that you've been listening to all this time. You certainly don't need that in your ear. Okie doke. Now she's hot. So I'm going to take it over the horn of the anvil and start taking her one around just like we did the first time. Nothing to it but to do it. Alrighty. And we'll make this hopefully come out. Probably have to wind up reshaping it a few times before I get it the way I like it. But then your mom knows that I'm never satisfied. If it can be done better, I'll do it better. Alrighty. Come back with a flat, hit it with the flat, keeping it so I don't have any mistakes that I got to clean up later. As much as I can get away with it. And it's starting to get a little bit cold, so I'm just going to start bringing it on over. Now a lot of times, 90% of your forge problem is operating your fire and keeping that nice and hot. Alrighty, so we're going to let this guy cook. bike looks like when she's hot. I've been working on this for a while now. I'm going to draw it out to make a handle for a hammer that I've been working on. Flip it over, come back, hit it this way. Just try to draw it out and make it longer and thinner, and then I'll show you how to do something called a Rubik's Cube twist when we get ready to maybe turn that into some dog ears. So we'll see how it goes. Now we flip it the other way, and as the metal spreads out, it'll get longer and thinner. And there is the rest of your bee coming around. I'll be out in Oklahoma at the Rune Festival, the Viking Rune Festival coming up. So, maybe if we can get you out, your mom bring you out there, you can see some really cool stuff. I have some friends of mine that are, they make swords for a living. And of course, it'd be a lot nicer if I had my handle turned around the right way. So I'm not tipping all over the place. So I'm sitting on something curiously. Right, so I'm going to close it off. Get this nice and flat again.